Hello, welcome. This series is focused on what to do with the monsters in combat encounters. So hold on to your dice bag, this is going to involve some critical thinking. First things first, this is not a series where I baby step DMs into the game like wide-eyed adventurers taking their first step into the dark corners of the tavern. No, this is where I hit the Dungeon Master's Guide and present the advanced techniques explained in those pages, combining with details on how to bring those techniques to life to make your combat encounters fairly amazing. First, let's tackle one of the most intimidating encounters that a DM can face, the mass combat scenario. By the end of this video, you'll never have to worry about them again. In fact, they're going to make other aspects of 5th edition make a hell of a lot more sense, which I will talk about at the end of this video. So, on page 250 of your Dungeon Master's Guide, there is a table, and it is called the Mob Attacks. On the left column, it has a list of what score is needed on a roll of a 20-sided dice to hit the target. And while this is usually the player character, it need not always be the case. This is after factoring in the 2-hit bonus of the individuals in the mob. So the larger the group, assuming they all have the same 2-hit bonus, and if they don't worry, we'll cover that in a super simple rule in just a moment. So on the right column, there is a number of attacks needed to score 1 guaranteed hit on the target. So basically, if the target has an armor class of 19, so it's a fighter or something, and the orcs against that fighter have a +5 to hit, meaning they need a roll of at least 14 on a 20-sided dice to hit the target, then statistically, if there are at least 3 orcs attacking the target in that mob, one of them is going to hit every round. The table trades in the chance for critical hits from dice rolls for the ease of reducing the massed combat down to a set amount of damage, based on the group size and the attack and defense values of whoever is involved. So you, as a DM, don't have to roll any dice, don't have to take time away from explaining what's going on to work out the actual mechanics of the game. The table just simplifies it for you down to a base number. This means that a town being attacked by an adult red dragon with an armor class of 19, when confronted by a group of, say, 25 town guards, each with +3 to hit with a spear, meaning they need a 16 or better on a 20-sided dice to hit, will do a minimum of 24 points of damage, or 6 guaranteed hits with a spear, which does 4 points of damage each, on that dragon each round. If the dragon was just standing there and not attacking back, it would take over 10 rounds for this to kill it. But, and here's the next cool trick, let's say there is a veteran town guard among the mob of regular town guards. This changes things significantly. So if we flip and have a look, the veteran has a +5 to hit and has 3 attacks each round, as this one's got a long sword and a short sword. So 2 hits with the long sword, 1 with the short sword. What does this mean in a mob situation? Well, each round, if there is a member or members of the mob who do multiple attacks or who do more damage on each attack or have a better than average attack bonus than the rest of the mob, they automatically attack with those attacks. They automatically hit with those attacks. What does this look like overall? So now that the mob of town guards and their veteran captain are doing 40 points of damage each round, that dragon now has around 6 rounds to live. So it makes a big difference. So let's break that down. We take the armor class for the target. For the simplicity of things, this is the hardest to hit member of a smaller group, say player characters. You've got your armored tank in the foreground, this fighter or whatever with this armor class of 19, that's your base. We find the average attack bonus of the mob. Compare the actual number needed to hit on the left-hand column to the number of attackers needed for an automatic hit per round on the left-hand column. Divide the total number of individuals in the mob by that subgroup, and you will have the total damage that mob inflicts each round, guaranteed. No dice roll needed. Are there any special individuals in the mob with more powerful attacks, better to hit bonuses? They always hit, as long as there are enough members in the mob to get an automatic damage hit. So if there's a minimum number of 3 in the group that is needed to hit an automatic, and one of those members is the veteran, then the veteran's going to hit. If it reduces down below that, then the mob is broken up. So this is why it is a really good idea to add lackeys to boss fights. This is why town guards can bring down red dragons that are stupid enough to land in a town and go toe-to-toe with its defenders. A swarm of humanoids, as I keep saying in my monster ecology videos, is one of the deadliest threats in the D&D world. A large group of goblins is a deadly threat if they've got a boss wandering through them. So what happens when the attacks are made against the mob? This is where the situation at the table governs what the DM does. If the mob is just the same type of thing, no special individuals in there, then every time the players dish out a cumulative damage that exceeds the hit point of one member of the mob, you reduce the mob by one member. Easy. The players may be on either side of the mob, laying down enough area attack spells and such that they could potentially take out one here, one there, whatever. It doesn't matter. Take out one member of the mob at a time. This is actually the more tactically beneficial thing for the players to be doing anyway, so assume that the characters are better at this than you or I. If there are special members of that mob, it is your job to gauge how the combat's going. Do you need the veteran to bite the dust yet? Are the players losing too many hit points? Are the players getting some great hits in on that dragon and it looks like they can handle it from here? Okay, drop that veteran with a tail sweep that puts him right through the window of the bakery in a shower of glass and flour. He might be dead, or he might come tottering out later in bandages and on crutches and tell the players the wizard's tower is on fire and the smoke that's coming out of it is purple and laughing at people. He can't take the stairs, so would he mind taking that squad up for a look-see? It's up to you. This is what I'm saying. Anyway, that is the simple rule for mob combat, and it also scales up to squads, platoons, companies, battalions, brigades, so you can handle whole army engagements this way without getting bogged down with a single dice roll, until combat reduces down to a more intimate level. So that's just one example of sort of advanced combat techniques that I'll be covering in this little series. If you like what I'm talking about, give me a like button. If you've got anything to add or comment, if you appreciate this series and want me to continue, or there's any extra rules that you have difficulty with that you want me to cover, leave a comment down below. And if I haven't got your subscription yet, please subscribe. Thanks for listening, everybody.